Welcome to another episode of GlideChat. My name is Michael Lombardo, CEO of GlideFast Consulting. Next to me is a legendary David Nottingham, solutions consultant, and along with many other roles at GlideFast. Hey, David, how are you?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thanks for hosting us out here in this beautiful Montana and Big Sky for this gathering of the company.
It's wild.
It is wild.
It's wild. And, man, you plan on something and you try to anticipate what it's going to be like, but you don't really know until you get here.
Right.
And I never in my wildest dreams I thought it would be this cool.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you roll with it.
You just roll with it. I mean, everyone's just having fun. I mean, we have a little fun at night, but we're all business during the day. I mean, everyone's collaborating, and it's like, I don't know. It's just it's pretty wild to see. It feels like very ServiceNow knowledge vibes, you know?
Yeah. I agree. It's kind of like a mini, maybe even one of their, they did a couple of regional events. I forget their names.
The
ServiceNow at Work or
Now
it Works.
What,
It kind of gives me that.
It's
but
like
it's
that.
us.
Yeah, it's us. It's just us, right?
Just
No
us.
customers, no ServiceNow, just us. Vibing and working on proving ourselves. But man, so I've known you for a long time, and I never really begged you to come to GlideFast, but I always wanted you to come to GlideFast, and I was kind of just left it out there.
Yeah.
And I was honored, when you decided to come here, and I
appreciate that.
And maybe why don't you give a little background on how you got into the ServiceNow world?
Yeah. So I started this. This is quite an interesting and fun story. So I started. I've been in IT service management for many years. Started in the 2005-2006 range when I was working on the space program. We were adopting a new platform.
Wow.
Back then, the platform that company chose was Maximo. Maximo, big.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's one of the things that can be the blessing and the bane of these tools is that it's highly configurable, maybe even the nasty customized word.
Yeah.
But that's the problem with it. It's not pre-built for purpose like I think ServiceNow is. You've got to.
You have to build it.
You have to build it. Yeah, exactly. You don't have the runway that ServiceNow has already put out there for you to work off of. And so during that time frame, I got into the IT service management certifications and working through that. Became change manager for United Space Alliance, who was doing the NASA program at the time, the space shuttle program. So it was a blast doing that. Fast forward a few years, I had switched jobs, was with a healthcare company, and we were selecting tools, and I got the job to select the next tool.
Wow!
So, and I went nuts. I sent RFIs to 20 companies.
Wow!
And 20.
How many employees were at this healthcare organization?
At the time, we were 1,500.
1,500. Okay.
Yeah, it was 1,500 to 3,000. I think was about the time frame. I mean, it's a healthcare performance improvement alliance is what they do.
Okay,
so they were looking at a new tool. We had been using HP Service Manager.
Yep.
And we've all kind
formerly Peregrine.
Formerly Peregrine, yeah, exactly.
I use that.
And so we were looking at the tools. Now we had different stakeholders involved, and we had to bring them in. So we had to interview some incumbents. We had some non-respondents, some really surprising non-respondents. So during that crazy process, and we were leaning towards two primaries.
Yep.
The company acquired a company that already had ServiceNow.
Oh, wow.
So we were able to say, we're just expanding the use of a tool. Now, we did not use their instances because they were highly customized, and we set up our own.
Back then, everybody was.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. I mean, they had, I think in order for them to upgrade off their version, they had to fix 400 scripts that they had written.
Oh, man.
It was crazy. I mean, it was literally.
Sounds like I wrote them.
It was literally crazy. So, but I've always been on the process side of things very much, but I always felt it was important from a process perspective to know enough about the tool.
Yeah.
Probably know enough about the tool to be dangerous.
Yeah.
But know enough so you could give good requirements to your technical team that's supporting you in executing your process.
It's a huge skill set. Being able to communicate what you need, and then the other side of it is knowing the not necessarily like the deep architecture, but the high level. Hey, this should go here because ServiceNow. One of the challenges is there's a lot of ways to do anything you want to do.
A lot of ways to get the work done.
There's one best way. You guys hear me say it all the time. There's one best way to do it. And that's our job, right? That's our job. I think, as an organization.
And we were just in our COE meetings today, and I think that's one of my key points is especially with clients that are not as far along on the maturity scale or they're green to ServiceNow, I think we need to be more prescriptive to them.
Yeah.
And tell them, here's why we think this needs to be done this way, and here's what the roadblocks are or the hurdles you're going to face if you don't go this way.
It's like we've seen this before. Trust us.
Yeah.
And sometimes the biggest challenge is like just conveying that, hey, listen, I know you want to do it this way, but this is the way it should be done. We've seen it work both ways, right? But here's the best way it can work.
Yeah, exactly. And that 2015 time was really my first exposure to what has become GlideFast, because we use ServiceNow Professional Services to implement, and they subbed. And Mia was our portal person.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And she did a great job for us on our first portal. I mean, portal things have gone way above and beyond what was being done in 2015 and what was capable of being done. But it was a fit for purpose portal for us to get started with, and it was great. It was a good experience.
That was at the logistics company, right?
That was at the healthcare company.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't.
Literally, it was that.
But
long.
we also worked with you when you were at the logistics company, right?
You guys bid on an HR conversion.
Oh, we didn't win it. Okay.
They never let it.
Oh, they never happened. Okay.
We had four people who came and did orals, and they never executed on they never released it to anybody.
Yeah, Bob was working that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, but I remember you working with Mia, and shout out Mia. She was literally like the first employee at GlideFast, and so many people just loved working with her. Just whatever it took in the portal to get done.
Oh yeah, she was good. And and then fast forward, you mentioned the logistics. You guys bid on that HR deal. I got involved in HR. Yeah. Based on proximity. Yeah. The team was located in North Carolina, and I was the only rep from the ServiceNow team for XPO that was in North Carolina.
Wow.
So my boss
was like,
he's like, you're it. Yeah. You're going to go represent this team. Yeah. And they thought I was going to be their sysadmin for HR. Yeah. And I'm like, no, that's not my role.
No. So why did you come to GlideFast?
So I had an opportunity from a company headhunted me out. Somebody I'd worked with at the logistics company had headhunted me out, and they were in another platform. And during the interview process, I found they were in another platform, and they weren't going to go to ServiceNow anytime and any soon time.
Yeah.
And I just felt that I had invested so much of my own time and effort into the platform that I was like, I'm not going to jump that ship at this point. So I kept seeing you guys at the time. This was 2020, 2021, and it was like everywhere. We're hiring all roles, all positions, hiring all roles, all positions. And I said, you know what? I might as well throw my hat in the ring. So I reached out to Andrina because she was the one that I was seeing the most. Shout out to Andrina. Yeah, exactly. And long story short, I got offers from both companies that were very similar, and the ServiceNow and the GlideFast.
Not fast.
Yeah,
we're
exactly. At GlideFast, but we are GlideFast. And so that was it. Just it was really good, and you guys had a good. The culture was part of it. Yeah. I mean, I had been to your guys' events at one or two of the knowledges that I had been to, and it just it was an easy decision once I got there.
Any regrets?
None whatsoever.
None so far. None so far. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, it's work. I mean, but it's good work.
Yeah, and like I said in my keynotes, somebody actually repeated it back to me because I was just going off. I didn't plan any of my keynote. I wrote a couple things down and even some notes addressed them. It didn't even get to my notes really.
Well, you speak from the heart, man.
I just speak from the heart. One of the things somebody said that I said is like, listen, we're gonna continue to grow, and it's going to be harder. It's not going to be easier.
Right.
But to get to that next level, it's going to be harder, but it's going to be more fun. Yeah. And it's fun to be on the winning team. It's not fun to be on a losing team.
Exactly.
Like you see the professional athletes, or you think back to when you maybe as a kid played in sports. Losing sucks.
It does.
It's not fun. So that's like the one thing I love about GlideFast is like, for me, I'm not the best, basketball player or anything, but in the ServiceNow world, we're the best,
Exactly.
So, and that's what I love about everybody here is we're best in class. Like we're the best team in the league.
Exactly.
And that makes work fun. Being part of the best and best people around.
And doing good things for our clients and getting them where they need to be with the platform. Yep. So I mean, it's been a wonderful journey on the platform since 2015. Back in Fuji days.
Fuji,
man, it was an era ago.
Yeah, Fuji to Eureka was big, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, Fuji was a big UI too.
Yeah.
Fuji was a UI.
I think that was UI 15 to 16?
16, yeah.
Yeah,
16,
so right in there. So, yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed the work. I mean, I joined as a senior BPC, and then I've moved to the solution consultant role. Yeah. I still play at BBC when I'm on projects, but, I mean.
I love being on calls with you. Those calls, it takes so much just body language and just, like, you knowing when to speak and I'm knowing, like, when to film, like. We really do work well together on calls. Like
I've really I have to say I was a little bit when I saw your name on one of the scoping calls. I was like, oh,
it went awesome.
Oh, but it went awesome, man. It was awesome. I learned something. I mean, I even asked you for feedback on those things. You know, what can I do better?
Did I give you some?
You did.
I did. Okay.
You did. You gave me an initial feedback, and then I was. There was an implied more coming, but the initial feedback was plenty. It was great, but
it's hard to give feedback when you're good. When you're good. You know what I mean? It's like, man, it's like shit. You did really good. It's not much to say.
We all have room for improvement.
Yeah,
so,
everybody, and that's what's special about us too.
Exactly.
We know we're best in class, but we know it's a long way to go too.
Oh yeah. So it's been great. I'm really enjoying. I'm really surprised at how much I am enjoying the pre-sales work and helping clients select us.
That's awesome.
And go from there. So I've had a few good wins. I've had a few disappointments,
it's all right.
But we'll get there.
I know which one you're talking about. We're gonna get that back. David, thanks for all you do for GlideFast.